In an interesting little twist in the timeline here that absolutely went well the first time, authorities in Germany have begun disarming their political opponents by revoking the gun licenses of an entire political party. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Hopefully the lighting is looking okay. I don't really know what it looks like. Our heat stopped working up here on the second floor this week, and my space heater, even though it's in a surge protector, keeps tripping the power strip and shutting off my light over there, so we're doing a very delicate dance. But anyways, I don't typically follow international events, but there's some pretty crazy stuff happening right now with the German government that I thought that we should talk about. Now, I will not pretend to understand the ins and outs of their government or their political parties, but this story does require some context, and honestly, that context makes it even more chilling. Chancellor Olaf Scholz lost a confidence vote in Parliament, and lawmakers actually voted to dissolve the existing government in December. The vote started because the government's three-party coalition fractured in November after months of infighting and the chancellor dismissing his financial minister over disagreements on economic policy. The finance guy was from the Free Democratic Party, and once he was axed, the FDP moved into the opposition, leaving a two-party minority government of the Social Democratic Party of Germany, or SPD, and the Greens. From what I understand, these parties are mostly liberal, varying from classical liberal light, which is honestly not very classically liberal, to full-on socialism with Marxist roots. Now, just as we're seeing here in the US and other parts of Europe, the right wing of things is getting a lot more popular, and the liberal systems in power don't like that. The Alternative for Germany, or AfD party, has been gaining a lot of traction, as in 2023 poll numbers showing them being the second most popular party in the country and the biggest opposition to the current government. Their main tenets, according to news articles, are being anti-immigration and basically anti-everything Angela Merkel. Which, Angela Merkel, yeah, same. Again, I won't pretend to know the full ins and outs of what it is they believe and how that works within the German system. All you really need to know here is that they are right-wing, the opposition, and so naturally the current German government has accused them of being extremists, to the point of the government even considering banning the entire political party. Their members are now under domestic surveillance for suspected threats to democracy. All the major liberal parties have promised not to work with them if they win anything in the elections, and now we are seeing the entire party being disarmed. But before we get into exactly how the government is doing that and how scary it is, this video is brought to you by Home Title Lock. When it comes to security, most homeowners think about security measures like video cameras, security alarms, and deadbolt locks to keep their property safe. But what they don't think about is protecting their homes in the digital space. I just learned about a seriously terrifying new scam that literally allows people to steal your home from you without ever stepping foot inside it. The FBI calls this scam house stealing, where scammers can access your home's equity by filing fraudulent documents with the county, transferring ownership of your property without you even knowing. And how easy it is really disturbing. So because property records are public records, anyone can access your information. All they need to do is look up your information, get a notary stamp off Amazon, and fill out your county form. Like, literally, I looked it up. The forms are free online, and a stamp is about $25. The scariest part is that you probably won't find out until unpaid loan bills or foreclosure notices start arriving in your mailbox. And at that point, it is too late. The damage has been done, and you are left with a legal and financial nightmare to deal with. The best thing that you can do for your personal security is to make sure that your most valuable asset is secure in every way. And that is why I protect my home with Home Title Lock, and you should too. Home Title Lock monitors your property records, alerts you of any changes, and if you are a victim, jumps in with their team of restoration experts to resolve it for you. And right now, you can get a 30-day free trial of their triple lock protection and a complimentary title history report by going to HometitleLock.com and using promo code LD30 or clicking on my link down in the description. Again, that is HometitleLock.com, promo code LD30, or my link down there to protect yourself and your home. So getting back to our story, in July last year, the courts went so far as to rule that members of the AFD are barred from gun ownership due to the fact that the current government sees them as a suspected threat, not even proven threat, suspected threat, and decided the party could be surveilled. It should be noted that the agency that decided the AFD should be surveilled is highly politicized and is run by one of their political rivals from the very same party who had been vocal about wanting to ban the AFD. The AFD tried to fight the surveillance ruling, lost, and now members of the second largest party in the country get to have their phones tapped and their internet activity surveilled by the state, all without a warrant. As for disarmament, it started with a married couple who legally together owned 200 guns. The state came in and revoked their permits just for being AFD members and therefore, quote, unreliable, meaning not suitable for gun ownership. They tried to fight it in the courts and lost. Other states in the country have seen similar court cases and said that you can't blanket ban an entire party from gun ownership, but did leave the door open for individual cases based on political affiliation. Now, one of those states has started moving forward with their gun grab. In Saxony-Anhalt, 5 AFD members have received a notice revoking their gun licenses. Another member voluntarily turned his guns in after the revocation procedure was started against him. According to the ministry, another 51 members are being examined to determine if their gun ownership is a threat to public safety. In total, there are 74 members of the AFD in Saxony-Anhalt that hold a firearms license. 49 are registered as sports shooters and 25 as hunters. 57 of these 74 are either in the process of being disarmed or are being examined for disarmament. Again, these are people registered as hunters and sporting shooters. And this isn't even the same state that made the court ruling about the married couple. They haven't even started their games yet. Left-wing members of parliament are cheering the move, saying that revoking these people's gun licenses is proof that they are a threat to public safety. So revoking the license is proof, while the very argument used to disarm them in the first place is because the parties in power have declared the AFD a danger to their rule. So there's circular logic of the state saying, well, these people are a danger, so let's remove their licenses, and then saying, well, removing their licenses is proof that they're a danger. Now, none of these party members, again, have been charged with a crime. There's no proof of them being alleged bad people aside from their political party, and even the government says, well, they're under observation because we suspect the party might be extremists. Others have come out and called the party full-on Nazis because of their anti-immigration stance. In another brilliant parallel, the party has also been accused of being too friendly with Russia and therefore being a threat to democracy. It sounds a little familiar. I mean, really, the similarities in the playbook are so bizarre that it's almost as if they're planned, or that these people are plotting together. I don't know, they do have that Bilderberg meeting every year. I mean, you know, not to jump into tin hat conspiracy theory land, but interesting comparisons here. Now, it seems that earlier in the year, the very same chancellor who faced the no confidence vote had promised to combat racism in Germany by changing gun laws to prevent these so-called right-wing extremists from owning guns. Among these measures also include financial policing. Oh, kind of like what happened in Canada. In February, the German Interior Minister said, when referencing the AFD, we want to take away their income streams and their weapons. The measures also include a ban on semi-automatic weapons and a rule forbidding members of organizations that are suspected of being right extremists from owning weapons. Far-right public servants will be more easily dismissed. So here we have another argument, like what we see here in the US, is, oh, well, you know, these people that have an interest in firearms are extremists, and so now we have to ban them for everybody. And these extremists are so dangerous in their threats to democracy that we have to take away everyone else's rights and then put these people under surveillance. It's like they took a page right out of the FBI's playbook. Now, despite this, there are allegedly still about 1,000 AFD members with gun permits, though that number is declining, and the mainstream German media, from what I can tell, is complaining about it. That, oh no, these scary 1,000 people. Now, are these people really a threat to democracy? Maybe. Again, I don't know enough about German politics to say. But again, they are currently the second largest party in a country with a 3-party government and multiple other parties. That kind of makes it sound like they have a lot of members, and maybe those members are the ones being denied democracy. According to Reuters, AFD membership rose 60% in 2023. They boasted 47,000 members last June, saying that some 4,000 had left due to political harassment. Now, that might not sound like a ton of people, but this is in a country where winning 16% of the vote in an election and polling at 20 to 22% makes you the number 2 party, while the number 1 party, the quote-unquote majority, CDU, hits in the 30%. Obviously, our constitution prevents similar things from happening here, and Germans don't have the same rights that we do. But this is another point in a pattern we're seeing in the rest of the world of big parts of the populace shifting right, and the leftist governments trying to stop it, even down to violating people's rights to do it. The things that we are seeing in Germany and in Canada and in New Zealand are an interesting case study on what can happen when we allow the government to trample on our rights or take away our rights, and should serve as a warning to us all that, okay, you know what, Trump got in, but that doesn't mean that the fight is over, because if we allow our rights to slip, we could someday be facing the same things that we are seeing in these other countries. So that is it for this video, guys. Hopefully you found this interesting. I know it's a little departure from American politics, but I found it terribly interesting, and it is not something that's getting a lot of talk in the media for obvious reasons. Now, you guys know the drill for all of the algorithm things. Please like, share, and subscribe if you are new here. Ring that notification bell and drop a comment down below to help the algorithm. Make sure to check out today's sponsor down in the description. And as always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay safe out there and happy shooting.